making a mess, yeah.
What's going on between you and Trey?
Physically, we're not in a relationship. We're
Okay.
just co-parenting.
Okay.
Working on co-parenting with each other.
You're trying to co-parent, but
Yes.
if you're here, that means that he is denying your
Denying,
child?
yes, he's
Okay.
denying.
Start from the beginning. How was your relationship at the beginning?
It was like romantic. We was like lovey-dovey. We was going on dates. We was going to do like massage therapists and all of that.
Oh, man.
Late nights, we'd be on the phone. And like, you know, we were together for them 2 years. And he
So
just...
this was long term, 2 years?
Yes, 2 years.
Okay. And when did things go wrong in the relationship?
Just started accusing me of doing things. And I was just like, you know, I had sat and thought to myself, like, why would you be accusing me when you know I'm not doing anything? I'm around you 24/7 around that time. Mm-hmm. And you just was like, oh, well, you doing something, so I had to end up going through his phone.
Did you find something?
Text messages.
Text messages.
Yeah.
He's talking to other women?
He were.
So you say that he was accusing you and you were doing nothing, and then you found out. And so you told my producers that Trey is an absent father now.
Yes.
Wow. And what's his reasoning?
If she's not my daughter, I'm not doing anything for her. Okay. 8 months, you have not been, you came and saw her for 8 months and then you noticed her skin complexion. You did not. You denied that you wasn't her father.
Got it.
Because she wasn't your skin color. My baby took after my father and my grandma.
Let me see. The baby's beautiful. Is that him in the background in orange?
Oh, yes, that picture right.
So why are you acting like your baby is bright orange? Meanwhile, he acting like he's sitting here, bright red with devil horns and fucking blue eyes. And look at the baby and look at you. Where is the skin tone? A question. Where?
He looked like he ain't wanted to be there.
Got it.
First of all, our relationship been like rocky, off and on from the start of it.
She says she found that you cheated on her by going through your phone, so you would understand that the insecurities would have been established.
How can
by
you cheat on a person when y'all not together?
So you weren't together for the 2 years?
Not 2 years straight.
We
no,
were
we
together.
was off and on.
We were together.
Okay.
Why
We was
you lying
off
to
and
these
on. It
people?
was never no committed relationship as far as 2 years straight years.
Okay. So you tell my producer you don't feel like she's a woman enough to have a relationship.
Correct.
What does that mean?
Sometimes it gets to a point where I shouldn't have to come home and tell you to cook. I shouldn't have to come home to tell you to do certain things, you know? And it gets to a point where if I'm working all day and I come home, I shouldn't have to say nothing. All this be done. You sitting home all day, you're not doing nothing.
Well, she's sitting home with a newborn, right?
A newborn.
Yeah.
You expect me to do all of this as that's
she a
wifey
one-year-old.
duty.
She's
That's
one.
wifey duty. Do y'all
Yeah.
see any ring on my finger to do any of that?
I can see where she's coming from when she said she doesn't have a ring on her finger, therefore she shouldn't feel like she has to do wife duties. But if I'm not mistaken, having a kid with someone is not a marriage per se, but it's kind of like you're doing marriage things with someone if you have a kid with them. Like usually when you have kids with somebody, you're more likely than not married. But it is possible to have kids without being married. It's just like, if you do something grown, for example, like making a baby, you're gonna have grown consequences. So like literally having to take care of it. He wouldn't have to have a ring on his finger to take care of things around the house if, you know what I'm saying, he was the one that was the stay-at-home dad, because people would be telling him, oh, well, you're the one sitting home all day. You don't do anything. So I can understand the person that's working would feel like if I'm already providing, I should expect somebody that I'm providing for bring and do things for me that he's expecting, but he can't just expect those things and not say that. And also like expect her to be able to do that consistently when she's literally taking care of a baby. It's like, it's not like she's a robot. Like, what's that mom from like the Flying Bensons, whatever the fucking show is called, where like just because someone is a mom or a wife, they just can just glide around with no feet and 10 arms. And then same for the men. It's like, just because they're providing doesn't mean they just have all this endless like energy to provide and care and give and all this. So it's like, I ain't gonna lie, right there when she said that, I was like, you shouldn't be laying up with anybody out of marriage and then wonder why if you have a baby you have to start doing a lot for or with the person that you had a baby with. Especially if they're attempting to do that for you. Like, he could have said it in a different way or like said his expectations prior to being on TV. But if they did have that discussion already, it's like, they don't seem like they should be together then. Especially if he has doubts about her fidelity and he's kind of like texting and doing whatever the hell he be doing because of how he feels. That's just like, I just figured that was not fair for her to say. I guess in terms of accountability and shit. Because to me, that would just seem like it's a double standard. It's like men are expected to do A, B, and C, and then when it's women's turn to have expectations, they're just like, well, no, that's not happening. So it really depends on like the situation and like the person and what value they put on what they do for somebody or what they're doing. Basically, it's like they would tell you how much that's worth to them and what they expect back.
Even if we were married,
I got a
we still
question.
shouldn't have to control a woman to do
I got a question
anything
for
like
you.
that.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What's the point of me stepping up to take care of a child that I don't know for sure is it mine or not? You get what I'm saying? So that's the closure about it.
Whenever you have unprotected SEX with somebody, honestly, I know this is probably outside of the point, but you don't want to be having unprotected sex with people like within like 30 days, especially if you know is a possibility that you could get pregnant, because you don't want to give anybody any reason or confusion, one. And then two, if it's not none of that, you don't want to confuse yourself or be like guessing eventually like, oh shit. Because like judging off of math, it would be very hard to confuse a doubt with the real. And then if it's not that, for real, some people just like to have a DNA test because you honestly never know. Like, some people, they're paranoid or they've been hurt before, or like they don't want to be hurt. And it might be insulting to someone to be asked for preventative measures for heartbreak, especially if it's not warranted so soon, or like, you know what I'm saying? It's not supposed to be a personal attack. Sometimes it could come from both like doubt and insecurity, but it has nothing to do with like anything that you're doing or did or didn't do. He's just honestly on stage venting, and he could have had these types of conversations with her. Like, he's just stressed out and overwhelmed. He's probably insecure deep down about something or a few things in regards to her or himself. And so them not even being really together, but they have a baby, shows me that they're kind of reckless, or they probably didn't have a proper plan or like proper circumstances to carry out certain plans because of how so-and-so feels or how shit going and shit. So I think sometimes people just want the DNA test, not because they're doubting your fidelity or like your loyalty and shit like that. Sometimes they just do that just so they know. And so my big thing was always like, well, if somebody ever would ask me that, like a simple thing like that wouldn't be so much to ask for. Granted, they should want to, pay for something like that if they really need to know that bad, and you didn't really do anything to give them that reason. But if it came down to the simplicity of just taking the test or the DNA test, and somebody was acting like a child of theirs wasn't, I would just simply give them the answer they're looking for and not drag the situation so that anything is just up in the air, or everything's up in the air and just nobody really knows for real, and you're not really trying to soothe somebody's like concerns or like worry. You're just trying to prove so bad that they're insecure or like overthinking or whatever else. It's like, thankfully she's the type of person that's clearly doing the DNA test, because a lot of people don't understand like what that would be like to be a man and you can trust taking care of a kid from somebody, because you laid down and did something with them that could make a kid. So yeah, you take responsibility in that regard, but then when you think about it, you have to sacrifice like at least 18 years of your own life and put it into someone else's life. Like honestly, way more than your own at times. So that is a sacrifice that a lot of people are not willing to take unless they know for sure that somebody's kid is theirs as well. And then you don't want to be the type of person that has boundaries or has standards, like, oh, you want it that way. You want to know for sure, and somebody's making you feel like you're crazy for wanting something like that. That's so simple, and it's just an answer. And it's not supposed to be like an insult if somebody asks you something or expresses something that is a concern. And then taking shit personally, like something like that would be giving someone reasons to feel like you're suspicious or like hiding something, you know what I'm saying? I peeped that about a few people in life. And I watch a lot of paternity court videos. Like, I don't know why it's such a guilty pleasure. Just see it sometimes. Dudes act like their baby looks like some three-headed alien with like purple skin. Meanwhile, they're like kind of an alien with 3 heads and purple skin in them damn selves. And they be like, that ain't mine. It's like, dude, that's the type of shit I like watching when they're actually just tripping. But then when it's like reasons for doubt and stuff like that, or whether you're texting so-and-so or going out or this or that, it's like, it doesn't matter if they trust you or not. Like, you should be able to give them the answer that they're looking for. And then if they were to like bring shit up that you repeatedly prove over and over again, then you could just be like, this is pointless. Like, but yeah, somebody wanting a DNA test is not it's not always out of insecurity. Sometimes it's just like, if you put yourself in somebody else's shoes and, you know, accept that, like I said, not everything's always about you or a personal attack. It would just be like, you know what I'm saying? A telltale sign that man is projecting if he's telling you that he's been outside of the situation or relationship many or a few times. He's basically saying he's done shit that makes him think people move how he moves. So he's literally telling her to take a DNA test or have the DNA test be done just so that he knows that not everybody is like his ass. It's like, I'm not trying to be funny, but for real though, it should never be an issue to do a DNA test and get it over with. It's okay to feel insulted if somebody is really accusing you of doing something that you know you're not or do not or have not done. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the time to be kind of like trying to argue back and forth about how loyal you are when there's time ticking and shit. And people gotta know.
I want something to eat when I get home. I shouldn't have to cook.
Okay. Okay. So you're saying that once you find out today if this is your child, you will 100% be in this child's life?
Yes, no doubt.
Then. Why are you questioning whether Tab's baby belongs to you? She's saying she was faithful.
Because I'm going to be honest with you. When we broke up, I had another child. I was honest with her. You get what? I was honest with her about that child. You get what I'm saying? And she think that me and her was in a relationship when that child was here.
Okay.
It did not happen like that. We was completely separated.
Okay.
And the dates add up to it. You get what I'm saying? There's no way that me and you was together when I had this child.
And she said earlier it's because you think the baby has a different skin color. Is that part of it?
Not just the skin color, man. I got a unibrow, man. It's like, in order for me to get my child from her, she have to know where I'm at, know what I'm doing, where I'm going.
So you think I'm finna let my child just go with you, and then whoever you're around, I don't know them. You're not announcing them to me.
My whole thing is you didn't lay down by yourself and had this child. We had this child together. So you shouldn't have to keep coming to me.
So now you feel like you've had the child together.
In the way of, we had the child together regardless until we get this DNA test and figure it out.
Yeah, honestly, I grew up with a pretty strict mom. It's not the best thing, but it's very, very understood when you grow up and go into the world and you realize why people shelter the shit out of their kids. It's like, I haven't really ever experienced 90% of the things I ever experienced until my mom wasn't around, which duh, right? But it's just things that I never thought I would experience, so it's like, yeah. I get where she's coming from with the overprotective thing, even if it was her dad, because you never want just anybody around your kid, especially if you don't know them like that. And I mean, I'm not saying she doesn't know him like that because they made a fucking kid together, but they've been together or in a situationship for like 2 years, and that's not really long enough to have a kid with someone and then expect that family dynamic to really work out, at least with that person or at that time, because clearly they don't have a good foundation, like, at all. Like, their relationship was rocky in the beginning. And she already knows how he is, so I don't think she's trying to like force a family with him, but I think she's like trying to make sense of how you don't want to claim a kid fully, but then be mad when she doesn't let you really just take the child anywhere or really see her. Or so he's saying. It's like he's making it seem like she's the reason why he doesn't know if it's his kid. And he's just throwing out random excuses and things that makes him feel like she doesn't want to be with him. Like, she doesn't cook for him. She doesn't do this or that. And it's like, but she's taking care of the baby, the brand new baby that y'all basically likely made. So it's like, you can't expect her to do all that while you're still doubting her the whole way through. I mean, it would be one thing if you were doing that, like expecting her to kind of be on this mommy life thing, if you weren't like accusing her of being like a fucking harlot. But I don't know, man. A lot of people they don't really know like why they feel and how to like go about how they feel. So sometimes they just do things kind of strangely. I think he likes the convenience of like having a responsibility, but then he wants to be able to pull up and pull out whenever he feels like it. So he's literally sitting here coming up with any reason to just kind of be halfway in the girl life, but then keep finger pointing at the lady that he had the baby with potentially. And it's like nothing he's saying is really adding up or correlating to his doubt for real. Like, it's just simply like an excuse to be not all the way there. And then the only reason he's there is to find out if he has to be all the way there, not because he wants to be all the way there. It's like he doesn't want her to expect anything of him or ask him to take care of the baby how she needs help taking care of the baby. He's just expecting her to be this breeder of his, and she created a baby and she should just accept that he's doubting the baby and still wants to be in the baby's life, and then bitch cook for me. And it's like, wait, like how does that even make fair sense? It's like, pick a side.
Get the baby, guess what? You can't don't leave my baby around nobody else. It's like, if I go to work, if I got anything to do.
But these are normal requests for co-parenting.
Not if it's got a grandma involved.
Okay.
I don't be around no other women.
I know. I think you calling yourself an alpha male has caused you to have some antiquated ways about communication. Because communication between the two of you is simply both of you setting boundaries and discussing what is best for the child, and both of you respecting it. And I think what has happened is maybe none of your other children's mothers have challenged you to have conversations and set boundaries. And so therefore, now that you're having somebody who's saying, hey, this is what I want for my child, it's causing confusion and upsetting you. But I think that if you're gonna call yourself an alpha male, I think the true nature of an alpha male is that they listen more than they talk. They work with, because an alpha male runs a community. They don't lead a community. They run the community by being a part of everyone. They're talking to everyone. They're making sure everyone's aligned. So I just want to make sure that you kind of get that.
And one thing I did always want to say, because I didn't grow up the most girly, and I'm not like the most tomboyish lady. You know what I'm saying? But I grew up around both girls and a lot of boys and men. Well, not a lot. Like, I grew up around different genders and shit, really. So, in different age groups and stuff in my household at times. So, I understand that, like, as a man, you want to be respected, and sometimes that comes with, fear, and that's how some people get people to love them, is through respect or fear versus like kindness and empathy, all that shit that's like more up here. A lot of people move down here with it, like it's like, you're gonna love me, versus like, I'll love you anyway. You know what I'm saying? So alpha males remind me, and particularly the ones that scream over and over again that they're an alpha male, they remind me of the opposite. It's like, you can be an alpha male through your actions and words, not just shouting at the world that you're alpha and can be alpha and or will do something alpha. Yeah. It's like, if you think about any movie or show or like animation or anime or anything, the villain is usually the one that's the loudest, and he's announcing all of his moves and all of his shit and all the shit that he wants to destroy and all the people that he hates and everything in the world that's just like, fuck this, fuck that. And the villain just never honestly shuts up. So it's pretty obvious when, usually though, usually now, the hero is the more swift type. The ones that, don't announce their moves. Like those people on Instagram that say they taking a social media break or they off this shit, fuck y'all and all this shit. And it's like, no one asked. But then, how alpha are you? How alpha are you really? If everybody has to keep being reminded that you alpha. It's like, nah, for real though. Those are the types that you gotta watch out for. Even the ladies that they're always talking about how they're this, they're that, they got this, they got that, fuck this, fuck that. And then like, it's not out of like defense. It's like them defining themselves under this like, the repetitive shouting it to the world, like having to like put yourself above people, basically. That is not very alpha. Even if you're saying the word 1,000 times a minute, it's not a very alpha activity to do. Make everybody else feel like peons and you're just alpha. But you can feel how you feel, just like, remember that like time will tell.
You laid down together, had a child, that you were there. And I think it's time for you to find out. It's been a year, and you need to know the truth. This is your truth to open, not mine, so good luck.
Hey, all I can say is this right here is going to determine our relationship. I'm tell you that right now.
Yeah, but do not let a baby determine your relationship, bruh. Even if y'all were together deep, or even if y'all just so-called made a baby and then you ended up together or blah, blah, blah. It's like a baby should not determine your relationship. Like if a baby is yours, or if you have a baby with someone and you know it's yours, or you know you're going to have a baby, it's like, that's not going to keep a relationship. It literally doesn't. I don't know how many times people have to say this in the world for people to grasp firmly that is not the glue for a relationship. If anything, it's actually constantly challenging your relationship. You don't want to make something that's like already a challenge be the determining factor for stability, because that should already have been done. Stability with somebody that you have a baby with. But everything's not perfect. People don't have perfect lives and do shit to the T and have a linear, grand, spectacular life all the time. Sometimes people are lucky, sometimes people are blessed, sometimes blah, 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 but like, never. He probably just meant that like literally and not as like a general thing for people. He probably meant that for himself. Like that would motivate him to be with her or at least try. But again, regardless of his intention, what he said, it literally shouldn't, just if anybody's listening, it's not going to keep someone around you or keep someone in love with you. It's not going to make them love you more. It's going to make you actually, it's going to make them look at you differently because now you're a different person and it's a different setup. It's a different situation that they probably are or are not ready for. But at the same time, like I said, accountability works both ways. So two people doing something like that and expectations should be out the window and it's down to responsibility now because